she even says, I'm her soulmate.
My soulmate, I know for a fact that it's Austin, and I also believe that my life partner is also Austin, which is really interesting because it has a lot to do with my life, my traumas in my past, even in my past life. It has to do with domino effects in my life, and that's why I was brought to Austin, and that's why we manifested each other, and I really feel like...
So someone that is so hurt and so embarrassed and so unseen, a few months later that this video was recorded, you can go and check it out on our YouTube channel, she says that I'm her soulmate and life partner. Someone that is destroyed would never say that. I wasn't even in that video. That was all on her. I wasn't sitting next to her. She did that on her own. At this point, there was rumors that came out, never pictures or videos, because one thing she said was, just don't embarrass me. So I did what I needed to do in private, even though there were still rumors that came out. And when the rumors started coming out, that's when she then really didn't give a fuck. She said many a times in videos, there's a video here where she just doesn't care.
Okay, so nobody knows the truth, the tears and the yelling. Nobody knows what I went through.
Where she just doesn't care.
Okay, so nobody knows the truth, the tears and the yelling. Nobody knows what I went through. We're a fucking team, bro. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm sorry.
Give a
like,
shit, she
not
said.
sorry, but I'm sorry. Like, I just don't care. What the hell happened? What happened that day? And I'm like, shit, can we share my part? Shit.
Yeah.
I went through a lot.
You did.
Behind a king, there's always bigger.
Again, she's saying how she just doesn't care, she doesn't give a shit, and she's been through a lot because she knows what she's been through. But we've never shared it. What else could she be talking about that she just doesn't care? We talked about everything in our lives besides our relationship. And there's a reason for that, up until this point. Regardless of the fact that she knew about it, still does not make what I was doing right, at all. But did I have a reason for why I was doing what I was doing? 100%. If I could go back in time and change how I handled things, I would try harder to help her through the situation that she was going through. And that's what I thought her spiritual journey was doing. When she first came to me and told me that she wanted to do ayahuasca, for those of you who don't know what ayahuasca is, you can look it up for yourself. The research I've done and the friends that told me about it have said it is a legal substance that can cause someone to hallucinate and have you believe something that is not true. Look it up for yourself. And so when she first came to me and talked to me about how she wanted to do ayahuasca, in my head, I was 100% against it. Something that I do not believe in. I believe in God. But because I'm such a supporting husband, I wanted to support her as much as I could. And so I let her seek that journey, and that's what she did. Through her ayahuasca journey, she was telling me how one moment she feels like she's a psychic. The next moment she felt like she was a healer. The next moment she turned me into a mermaid. I was being as supportive as I could. She even went as far as telling me that she was the reincarnated Virgin Mary. And that she no longer wanted to have sex with me and she didn't want to use her body in that way. You guys put yourself in my shoes, and if your significant other told you that they were the Virgin Mary and no longer wanted to have sex with you, what would you do? So as she was getting more connected to the spiritual side, we started growing further apart. And it was really sad because our conversations were only about spirituality and I couldn't relate. And it got so bad to the point where she was doing it once a month. She became addicted. Usually people do it once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times in their entire life. but she was doing it once a month. And this is where, during this process and her going out traveling and going on retreats, she found somebody. And I came across their messages and I didn't know what to make of it. I couldn't comprehend it. I couldn't understand it. But she told me that they were friends that met through their spiritual journey on one of these retreats. Just friends. Here are the messages that I came across that I didn't know what to think of it. And that's why I took her word and believed her, because I had no idea what the fuck this meant. No idea. But as time was going on, it started to show that this is somebody that she was connecting with. And unfortunately, when you guys found out, I found out way, way before then. And so we get a divorce and we go our separate ways. Her new partner moves in with her, and the spiritual journey gets worse. I know you guys know before, when she was doing ayahuasca, when I was living with her, she would do it away from me, away from the kids, and outside of the house, where she would go to a professional. I'm sure you heard of Linnell. She's taken pictures with her. She's praised her. And Linnell was once a family member of ours. And Linnell has been a professional in this field and has been studying this field for damn near 15, 20 years. And when Catherine got her own spot and she was living with her boyfriend, she decided to take Linnell's business away from her, her clientele, and decided to do the ayahuasca ceremonies and her hosting them at her house, in her home where my kids lay their head. And it got so bad. Sorry, I promised myself I wasn't even gonna fucking cry in this video because I'm just angry. It got so bad to the point where good friends of hers came to me and Catherine forced them to do it, just like she forced me many of times, but I turned it down because I didn't believe in it. She forced her friends to do it, and they came to me very concerned because they didn't have a good experience with their ayahuasca journey. And they said, Austin, I'm very concerned, not only for Catherine, but for your kids, because this is where they sometimes sleep. And she has random people that come in and out of her house that she doesn't know, that are all participating in this illegal substance together, that are all hallucinating and having all different types of experiences, that this is not a safe environment. Somehow they found someone in Brazil to help them illegally import this ayahuasca shit. And they've been hosting these ayahuasca ceremonies for the past year at Catherine's house, where my kids lay their head. And after her friends came to me and voiced their concern, I knew I really only had two options. Either I get full custody of the kids, or I spend more time with them to protect them. And I think you guys know what option I chose. I never, ever wanted to do that to her. As you guys know, ever since we got together, I've showed so much love to that woman. And that's something that I can never do to her and that I would never do to the kids. But when I hear that she is also educating my kids on what ayahuasca is, and that she is telling me that soon they will be able to experience ayahuasca if they want. And the reason why that is so scary is because here is a photo of all of them in Catherine's house experiencing the ayahuasca journey that they had together. And this boy right here is only 12 years old doing ayahuasca. Mind you, no one here is a professional. No one here has studied ayahuasca for years and years. I don't know if you guys know how dangerous that is, but all it takes is for one bad experience and it changes all of our lives. Not just Catherine. Not just mine, but my kids. And that's something I'll never fuck with, ever. And so I took it in my own hands to have my kids more, try to spend more time with them. And I'm sure you guys seen that. You guys seen that, how hands-on I am and how much they're with me. And I also believe that everything happens for a reason. I was never, ever going to address this. I was never, ever going to talk about this. And I most definitely was always going to protect her in her spiritual journey, regardless if I felt my kids were unsafe. All that being said, I believe that everything happens for a reason. And I believe all of this whole situation happened for a reason, because I was never going to address it. Regardless of me knowing that my kids were in an unsafe environment, I was always going to protect her. But I really do hope that this video puts a stop to that shit. And as she continues her spiritual journey, I hope that she can figure out how to do it away from the house and away from the kids in a safe environment. And when it comes to the things that she said about me in that book, I'm going to repeat this one last time. She manipulated that event, and she did not tell the full truth about me stepping out of our marriage. And now you guys know the full truth and why it happened. Again, I'm going to repeat over and over again that I am completely wrong for doing what I did. I take full accountability. I have grown. I am not that person anymore. We're talking 6-7 years ago. And it just saddens me that someone who is at peace and is enlightened and spiritually woke that they wanted to take it here. Knowing that this could affect our kids. Knowing that our dynamic will no longer be the same. I hope you guys understand that it is going to be very difficult for me to be there for her like I was for the past year and a half. Obviously, nothing will change when it comes to me being a father. So again, you guys can take what you want, but I'm going to continue doing what I want to do. And this is going to be the last time I talk about everything. Regardless if she wants to continue to talk about it and continue to write books about me, I'm going to move forward and focus on myself, because I've done a lot of healing myself. I've grown a lot myself, and I am in a completely new chapter of my life. I appreciate you guys for listening. If you listened all the way through, it does mean a lot. But I'll be back to my regular schedule tomorrow. I'm done talking about this shit.